Hello, my name is Sandy Oliver, and I'm going to be your instructor for English 111 at JCC this semester. And so I want to welcome you to class, and I want to walk through the syllabus and a couple other things as far as like the major papers we're going to be working on and how I'm going to run things. And we'll see how far we can get today. This is the normal first day. I'm your talking head kind of video, and so we're going to walk through things like I would do in class. So the first thing is if you don't have your syllabus near you, next to you, on your device, whatever, go ahead and pause me and go ahead and do that. So your syllabus is for fall of 2022 and for English 111. Our class is 100% online, and I am an adjunct instructor, and so I don't have an office on campus, but you can get me through email. I have the JCC email on my phone, so I can look at that during the day and check things. So if you're running into a problem and it just needs a couple of directions or whatever, go ahead and email me, and that's great stuff. Um, anyway, we are working on a 3 contact hour class, which is, if we were seated, it would be either 3 meetings of 50 minutes each or 2 meetings of an hour and 15 minutes each. And so some of the weeks, a lot of the weeks, I have things scheduled for 2 different days of due dates, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, like we would be if we were actually on campus. I don't count things late until Thursday, and you'll see a little note in different places on the website, on the Blackboard site, that says I count weeks as Monday through Thursday, mainly because here in the U.S. we have 3 major divisions in religions that holy days are Friday or Saturday or Sunday. And I don't want to make you think you have to work on your holy day. And so the deadline is Thursday, so that if you're a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday, you have basically that day off. Now, doesn't mean you can't work on those days, of course. It's one of the great things about being here and online is you can do your work whenever you want, as long as you do it before the due date. And so this first week, I'm not counting things late because I know a lot of you have to have big chunks of time on the weekend to do things. So my advice to you is to work a week ahead, not a week behind. You don't want to lose all those points all semester. And so the deadline is Thursday at 11:59 p.m., midnight. And I know this is different from a lot of your other instructors, which is a good thing. That way you're not stressed about 5 classes you have to all get done on Sunday, maybe only 4. So a little bit about the class. This course is the first English course that counts on your degree. Now, if you had to take transition English or anything like that, they count for credit hours for financial aid, but they don't actually get you closer to your degree, except for the fact they make you ready for English 111. So we're going to write 5 papers. 2 of them are quite small. The other 3 are in the middle. And this is a writing intensive course. Okay, our course title is Writing and Inquiry. So we write a lot. And writing intensive courses are basically, you need to write about 15 pages over the course of the semester, which sounds like a lot up front, but it's not. It's little chunks of things going through, so don't stress yet. This is a 100% online course. Everything you do is done through Blackboard. I do occasionally take things through email if you've made a mistake in what you're posting and you need to post again and it doesn't let you do that. Or if there's something missing that I need to look at, I'll ask you, hey, send that to me as an email attachment. So figure those things out a little bit early here and be good with that. We're going to practice and refine grammar. We have a great online setup. We are participating in what they call the first day access through Norton's ebooks. On our Blackboard website, if you look at on the left-hand side, you look at course information. Click on that, and you get a whole bunch of other things. One of the things you get is our textbook. If you click on our textbook, that's going to give you the links to all the online stuff that the Norton folks provide for us. You don't really need your code or anything like that because you're being checked into Blackboard every time you open this. It's just there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that too much. If it asks you for anything other than to click on something, you're in the wrong spot. So go back and try again. Let's see. We're also going to use critical reading, critical writing. We're going to walk through class text material. You're going to have to look some things up eventually. And we're going to make sure that we all understand that writing is a process. Very few people in the history of the world could actually publish a first draft. Someone like C.S. Lewis. Okay, he had a secretary who was kind of his editor, but what he put down on the page, he just did it once and went on. Most of us can't manage that. And please don't assume that you are C.S. Lewis special. Writing is a recursive process, which means you write something down and you look at it and you go, oh, and you make it better. Somebody else looks at it and they go, oh, and you make it better. And then we kind of go on from there. I really don't think anything I've ever written has not been needful of revision. I miss a comma here and there too. I think I missed one in the paper assignment, but anyway, this course is also going to help you get more comfortable writing in an academic setting. Because writing for academics is different from writing for yourself or writing for your friends. It's not a blog. It's not, you're not streaming your activities here. You have to actually write it down so somebody else who's not in the room with you can read it and understand what you're getting at. So we have first day texts and stuff. They're all available for you. You don't have to go to the bookstore or anything else. They're all in the class already. So that's how that works. Inquisitive is our grammar and mechanics and documentation and a few other things kind of support for the course. And so I'll assign bits and pieces of that as we go through the semester, and those count in their own little set of grade, and I'll get to that in a minute. So we have grades, of course, are maintained in Blackboard. The official grades will be posted in either WebAdvisor or self-service, whatever that's being called this semester. Like I said, you have 5 papers, a summary response, a literacy narrative, an evaluation essay, a research report that also includes one of our mandated projects is the source charts, and we'll get to those a little bit later. And then general assignments, aka homework, and rough drafts, and discussion boards, and all that kind of fun stuff. And the things that you'll do answering questions in the book. Anything that doesn't fall under a paper, really, or inquisitive is general assignments. And then our inquisitive stuff is 10%. And the inquisitive stuff is basically self-grading, self-perpetuating. There'll be a minimum number of questions that you have to answer, but you can always answer enough questions correctly that you get 100. Okay, so don't let that part drag you down. Now, I do have a column set up to automatically figure on Blackboard your current Blackboard BB grade. We use a weighted system, so it's not just points, and it's basically points per assignment based on the weight. And the papers themselves are worth 60% of your grade. General assignments 30%, inquisitive 10%. So just that's how it breaks down. Remember always that your current Blackboard grade, that column on Blackboard, is an estimate, okay? Blackboard does the math for us, which is nice. But at the end, maybe in the middle, if we're doing the progress reports this semester, I will figure out, okay, based on everything that's in how close is Blackboard. If you're caught up, if you're up to date with all of your assignments and stuff, then it's pretty correct. Okay, it'll be within a point, maybe a point and a half of what you actually have. If you're not caught up though, it's going to treat the empty stuff as nothing. Okay, unless I physically put zeros in, it just counts what you have done out of how much those assignments are worth. And so, but please don't look at that and say, oh, I have a 97 in the class. I haven't turned in the last 3 papers, but I have a 97 in the class. Think about that for a second. Be reasonable, be caught up, do your work. If you do get behind, or if you're curious about, okay, what's my actual grade right now? I can do that for you. Okay, just send me an email. We use a normal grade point, 10-point grading system, grading scale rather. 90 and above is an A. 80 to 89.9999 is a B. Okay, I always have folks who max out the extra credit and end up with 102 or something. Oh, and about extra credit. I do not give extra credit assignments. That's not fair to the rest of the class. I do give extra credit for extra work, whatever that means, throughout the things, okay? My promise to you is I will get things graded before you have to use them for the next thing. And if they're not a next thing, like rough drafts have to be graded and looked at before you can do the next draft. I will get those done in time. I will do my best to get those done in time, just like you do your best to get your work in on time. And if you turn things in late, sometimes that takes me a little while to get back to. Don't stress, it's okay. Remember that I will make every effort to post the grades for on-time assignments within a week of their due date. I'll provide comments in Blackboard. And if you see in your My Grades section that a particular grade is underlined, it's a hyperlink. Click on that. It'll give you more comments on why you got that particular grade or what you need to do to fix it or whatever. So, please, please, please check your JCC email regularly. The expectation of the college is that you check it every day. You guys have your devices on all the time. Make sure that your email goes there and check it, check it, check it. Okay. This is the critical success strategies. I think I'm on page 4. Your coursework load. Remember that we are online all the time. We are a real class. So I expect you to put the 3 hours into the class every week in reading and watching videos and getting prepared for your work. I also expect that you're going to spend another 3 hours, maybe as many as 6 hours, depending upon what week it is, and how fast you work and all that kind of stuff. Completing the required assignments, including discussion boards, writing assignments, peer editing, reading. Okay. You should already know how to use Word or some sort of word processing document. Remember, as a student, you have access to Office 365 on the login for your email. It should have a little click there. You get so many of those to put on your devices, and so you should use those because you already pay for them as a student. Okay, they're part of that Connect fee and all that kind of stuff. 2 great resources, and the Little Seagull Handbook is what we use for looking up answers to questions. Okay, do I need a comma here? Do I mean affect or effect? That kind of stuff is all in the handbook, along with some really good information about the writing process and all of that. The other thing that you have available to you, and I put it I think I put it in Writing Helps, is the Purdue University OWL, OWL, Online Writing Lab. It's the best one out there. And it has everything. And most of those things have little videos. So if you'd rather listen to somebody tell you how to do something rather than read about it, that's your deal. Okay. And they also have the capability of your subtitles being in English, your subtitles being in French, and your subtitles being in Spanish. I know they were working on a few others just in case, but those are the three kind of North American mess. So I have an open communications statement. Basically, if you have questions, ask me. Okay, that means get on email, ask me. I don't know where this goes. I don't know what to do with this. I thought I had to do this and now I can't find it. Whatever your day is. Or, hey, my kid started barfing in the night and I'm not going to be able to do anything today. I'm really sorry. That kind of stuff. Send me questions, any questions or concerns you might have about the class or assigned work, or where you might find things on campus. If I don't know, I can find out. Okay, Blackboard is our space for our class. Think of it as our classroom. And in our Blackboard page for our class, we have a lot of information and a lot of ways for you to engage. And there are a few things that I want you to make sure that you do on a regular basis, and that is check the announcements. They also come to your email, so that's helpful. And also make sure that you can move around in Blackboard. Where are the things you need? Look them up. Spend some time in the next week, especially, to get kind of aware of, oh, okay, this is where discussion board is. This is where this other thing is. This is where my videos are. That kind of stuff. Online attendance. Okay, it's gotten better and better. When everybody had to be online during the first stages of COVID, they really kind of fine-tuned this, and I'm fairly happy with what they've come up with. So there are two things that you have to remember. You have to take that enrollment verification quiz before the census date, which for this semester is, for our classes anyway, is August 24th. So sometime in the second week. I think it's Wednesday of the second week. Your best bet, though, take that EVQ first thing. Get it out of the way. You don't have to think about it again. And really, it's not a pass-fail kind of thing. It's go through and do these. Pay attention to the first question. This is your acknowledgement. We used to make you fill out a separate form, but now they have this thing, and so it's a lot easier for the students to get things together. Answer the questions. Make sure you say yes and move on. For attendance, have to take attendance at least once a week. And what that means is you've turned in at least one of the assignments due that week before Thursday at midnight. Okay, like I said, the first week it's that EVQ. Just take that and you're good. Well, you're not good, but you're in the class. If you miss that third week of class, and that means you haven't turned in anything for 2 weeks, or you miss a week, you come back and you do some things. You miss another week, you come back and do some things, and then you miss a third week. I have to drop you from class. There are rules for how many hours you have to be in class a week and for the semester, or else it doesn't count. And more than 2 weeks means you're out of here. Okay. Now, if you're ill, if God forbid you end up with COVID, I'm still in the recovery mode. We had it here at our house in July, and I was very ill for about 3 weeks and then started getting a little better. And so I'm only a couple weeks past that, feeling like death. And so I understand things get difficult when you have to, sleep 20 hours a day, that kind of thing. So let me know, keep me in the loop on those kinds of things, and we'll see what we can work with. But official policy is 2 weeks You miss over 2 weeks and I have to drop you. So keep that in the back of your head. Make sure for those of you who are high school students doing college, whether you're CCP or ECA or CTLA or whatever they're calling things, the new one, make sure that you know if you have to be on state tests and things like that. I'm not going to count you absent. I can't count you absent. That's part of the articulation agreement. Please let me know. Don't assume that your administration has said, oh, yes, you're having tests this week and everybody knows. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So best to be safe than sorry. Okay. Now, if you have a religious or solemn observance day, a holiday that, requires you to be at church or at synagogue or at temple, then by all means, let me know. You know what those days are already. And so just let me know when you're going to be out and we'll work with that. Okay. A few other things you need to know, and I'm already on page 6. We have what we call the Jaguar writing portal. Basically, it is online help with papers and things. It's at the Academic Skills Center, and it's a 48-hour turnaround, which means 2 days. Okay, so don't send your paper to them the same day it's due for me, because that's not going to be all that helpful. Okay, but they can help with all kinds of things. We also have something we call EARS, the Early Alert and Retention System. This is where we get asked a couple times a semester to go in and explain, different students. And I haven't quite figured out how they pick them yet. But anyway, folks who are at risk of dropping off the face of the map kind of thing. Somebody who has missed a week already and needs help, whatever. But you'll get a very interesting email. It's computer generated, but it's going to let you know, oh, my instructor knows that I've been missing and I'm not doing as well in the classes, I think, or whatever. Or they send me somebody's name and you've got 100 in the class and I write glowing things about you, so it's all good. Another thing, we have a new quality enhancement plan, QEP, called Pace Yourself. It's progression, advising, and campus engagement in the first year for freshmen, for first year students, regardless of your age or ability. This is something that you can get help with different aspects of the college. It also wants to put up front, okay, these are resources that are available for you. A lot of folks, especially if you're a first generation college student, I was, you may not understand how everything works, and your parents aren't much help for that because they didn't come to college. And so we have some extra help with kind of getting you in the swing of things academically. The last thing on the syllabus is student concerns. If I do something that you think is unfair, or if I offend you in some way, your first thing to do is to come to me. Okay, send me an email. I was offended by this, or I think I deserve better credit than that, and here's why. I'm more than happy to engage with you on things like that. If you and I can't come to an agreement, then we get my department chair, Elizabeth Baker, in on it. If the three of us can't figure something out, then we have to talk to our dean. She is Associate Vice President of USET, which is this group that I work under, University Studies and Educational Technologies, and eventually, if it goes that far up, our VP of Instruction will be the last word on that. Please don't take that as, oh, bad things are going to happen. No. I'm pretty easygoing. I'm pretty easy to get along with. I expect that you're going to do your work, preferably on time. But if there's anything that I can do to help, that's kind of my MO on that. Okay, I want to walk through briefly the major assignments and due dates. This is another handout. It's under major assignments. under course information. So you might want to have that hanging out with you as well. We will write 5 papers, and I'm going to walk through just kind of a brief thing of each of them. First, though, our class begins Monday, August 15th and runs through Monday, December 12th. We have 3 breaks this term. Labor Day is Monday, September 5th. Fall break is Monday and Tuesday, October 10th and 11th, so you get a 4-day weekend. And the Thanksgiving holiday is Wednesday through Friday, November 23rd through the 25th, so you get a 5-day weekend. It's kind of nice. Excuse me. We have a few things due on Tuesdays so that we can get feedback and stuff promptly, but most everything is due Thursdays by midnight, 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. If you have a question about that, email me. Okay, so the papers. The first paper is short and little, and fairly easy. This is a summary and response paper. It's going to go through the peer review process, and the articles for it are in the book, in the back of the book or at the bottom of the book, depending upon how you think about ebooks. I'm still wrapping my head around them. The rough draft is going to be due Thursday, August 25th. Your peer review will be due the next Tuesday. We're going to put those in a discussion board format so that you can easily get to each other's stuff. And then the final draft will be due Thursday, September 1st. This one I'm not going to weigh in on. I want to see how you do, and so I will be gracious in grading, but do your best work. The second paper is the literacy narrative. It's also going to go through the peer review process. I will collect a second revised draft, so you'll write a draft for peer review. You'll revise that draft for me as rough draft 2. I'll give you some comments on that, and then your final draft will be due September 22nd. We have a little interlude. One of the things that most college students need more instruction in is critical thinking and analysis. And so one of the things we're going to do in here is to look at some handouts and walk through a video, and then there's a quiz. Okay, the quiz for this actually gets put in the homework section, so it's not worth a whole lot of your grade, but it is important, I think very important to your understanding of the course and understanding of writing and such. If you're interested in critical thinking at more depth, we have a class called Humanities 115, which I also teach, that is a whole semester on critical thinking. So some of your programs may require you to take that, so you might see me later on. The third paper is an evaluation paper, and there are lots and lots and lots of ways this can go, but I think it's best for us to kind of corral that down so that you can get started really quickly because you have a goal. The evaluation paper is going to be about the best episode of the first season of your favorite or current TV show. Okay. Now, TV show is kind of a writ large. Okay. I'm going to ask you to do a couple things for me at the beginning so that we can all be on the same page. And if I have to go look at stuff, I will look at stuff. But there we go. First draft will be due Thursday, October 6th. Peer review the 13th. Final draft the 27th. So not such a big deal. The fourth paper is our big paper for the semester. It's our research paper, and we're going to play with MLA, Modern Languages Association, MLA style. And so it's your research, and we're going to process this a little bit differently. So you're going to write me what I call a topic memo. Here's what I want to write about. Here's why it's relevant right now. Here's why I can do the research. And here's what I hope my readers will learn. Okay, and that way we walk forward. Okay. We're going to work on research and pre-writing for a bit. And then there's another mandated assignment that we have that is for this particular paper. It's the source chart activity. I'm going to have you do a rough draft for me and then polish it a little bit for the final draft, and that's the one the reviewers will see. Outside of class, and you don't have to worry about them, but you know. The research paper then comes right after that, in between that. Final draft is going to be due Tuesday, December 6th. And then the last piece we're doing is kind of I want to give you a chance to basically show your work in a different aspect. So we're going to shift audience just a little, and it's a public piece, sort of, kind of. I'm calling this Rethinking Audience. Okay, so the last paper of the term is really a rework of your research paper for a different specific audience. And the project can take numerous forms: a letter to the editor or to your congressperson, if that's appropriate, an original poem or song that you write, okay, an editorial cartoon that you draw, or a public service announcement video that you make. Okay, this is all your personal work. We'll start off with a discussion board and a reflection paragraph about it, and then it'll be due the last day of class, which is Monday, December 12th by noon. Noon. We end on the 12th at noon because my grades are due on the 13th at 10. So I need some time to get in there. But that's the end of all of that. And I hope I haven't given you too much to think about. I know it's a little bit on the long side, but I hope that you can use this to get focused for the semester. And if you have questions, send me an email. You know where I am. Bye.